Hey,
Hiya.
hey, so we're gonna be doing this thing. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the nominations. What's up,
Hey!
my know Do you think we were ready for this? Because it's early in the morning.
We got this.
You're so wrong. All right. Okay. All right. So we're going to be talking we're going to talk about the nominations that just happened.
I'm very excited.
I did too. It was fun.
We don't do this that often,
Yeah,
so.
seeing Jack Quaid and Zazie Beetz do the nominations, I thought was a lot of fun. Zazie Beetz.
Not Zazie Beetz.
Oh,
Jack
sorry.
Quaid alone. Seeing him up there was awesome.
He was
Because he's
great.
just come such a long, way, I feel it.
Oh my gosh, so much. He really has. So, do you have the list of nominations in general, or do I have the? I know we've got the list of our. Because
I do.
Okay. Can then if you can do me the favor,
Sure.
you can go ahead and careful with the mic.
Oh, my bad.
It's okay.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
That probably didn't sound good.
No, it's fine. If you could then you're gonna have go ahead and you'll have to go ahead and read the nominations.
All right, I'm just going to read it how they read it. Is that okay?
And then we'll discuss and
Yeah.
tell who our particular votes are. So let's jump right into it.
All right, so for Best Supporting Actor, now, of course, now that I've said that, Best Supporting Actor. I'm so sorry, this was not up at the time. We have Sterling K. Brown for American Fiction, Robert De Niro for Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling for Barbie, and Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things.
Okay, so my vote, my prediction rather for Best Supporting is going to be, I believe Robert Downey Jr. is going to get it.
Me too. That's exactly what I said.
I'm really proud that Sterling K. Brown got on the list. I know there was a lot of questions about whether he would make it or some other folks would make it. I'm really happy that he made it on the list. But at the same time, I do believe firmly.
He won Critics' Choice, didn't he?
Yeah,
Was it Critics' Choice or Golden Globe? I don't remember.
It was one of the other.
Well, he
two.
won one of them.
Right.
He won one of them.
So, but I believe Robert Downey Jr. is definitely the guy who's that a lot of people are expecting to take it. I think it hits his bite at the apple. It's totally his turn.
It's his turn.
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt.
I just want to let y'all know I'm gonna have a hard time saying a lot of these names, so I might just say the movie unless you want to just jump in.
Just do the movie. No, do the movie.
Okay. Best Costume Design: Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things.
This is best costume design?
Yeah,
I think hands down.
Hands down, it's going to be Barbie. I
same.
I don't
Barbie.
understand why it wouldn't be.
Agreed. I think Barbie. So a lot of people might go, "That's the cute choice." The truth is, you have to look at this. Barbie, they had to build an entire world, and they had to, and by that I just mean not only I create the looks, but create the looks that mirrored the dolls, but also in context. Like there was a lot of effort that went into making the costumes, and it's more than just the outfits they wear when they're in the real world, but it's literally all the intricate parts and pieces.
Right.
And I feel like that's a new layer.
Right.
That's different than period pieces. That's different than than some of your sci-fi and stuff where you can almost basically, so long as it looks good, make it up and invent it on the fly. They had to structure things in such a way that they would look like
Barbie.
Right.
And I'm playing with Barbies myself.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And if you've seen Margot Robbie at any of the award stuff, she's been wearing outfits reminiscent of various Barbies, and I think that's awesome. So yeah, for sure, Barbie.
All right. The next one was Best Makeup and Hairstyling: Golda, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Society of the Snow.
So this is one where we disagree.
We
I'm going to
did.
go first. I think Maestro. The reason I say Maestro is because not only did they, one, the Brody, okay, because flat out, that's Bradley Cooper's literally wearing the nose, but also because you aged with him. You went with him through the years from a younger generation to an older, and not to mention the period piece stuff, all of the various intricate parts of that. And I feel like doing it in the way that they did. That's the reason why I picked. That's why I picked them. Well, why did you pick? Why did you pick your answer? And what is your answer?
My answer is Poor Things. Just some of the makeup that Willem Dafoe had himself was.
You
just
said
amazing.
that.
So that's why I did that.
No.
That's
absolutely.
really, and when I think about like hair and makeup, it's not just. Barbie was not nominated, was it?
No.
Okay, that's my point. Is just because it's just all this fleshy like makeup. It's like true, like I feel like I want to say visual effects makeup.
Sure, I'll go with that. That's
and because even like you said, even with Maestro,
Right.
you watched him age, and they had to do something with that. So
Okay, and what's next?
the next one is best live action short. The After, Invincible, Night of Fortune, Red, White, and Blue, The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar.
I went with Night of Fortune.
I went with Invincible.
Right on. And again, you have to really, it's hard to really talk about these without having the mutual context. So hopefully you've seen them and you kind of get an understanding. But yeah, let's go to the next one.
The next one is short film. They don't have this in order.
Short film animated?
Yeah, thank you. I'm looking for the... ready?
Mm-hmm.
Letter to a Pig, 95 Senses, Our Uniform. I see pachyderm. They said it a different way. Pachyderm.
Just say pachyderm.
I'm going to go with pachyderm, sorry. And War is Over.
I went with War is Over.
And I did too.
Right on. No, right on. Let's go. I want to go to the next one because this is important.
Okay, let me...
Best adapted screenplay. I feel like this is one that is both controversial, but at the same time, it's very telling about some things. So first and foremost, before we even get into whose guesses or what, I don't believe Barbie should have been in this because Barbie didn't adapt anything. You don't adapt a toy. There was no story they went from.
I agree.
There was no Barbie book. There was no Barbie story. There was no Barbie animated anything that they followed to create this. Greta Gerwig created an completely original screenplay. The only thing that it was based on was the property. That's no different than anything else.
Doll.
Right, that's a doll. But there was no book or anything it was adapted from, so I believe that was wrong. Anyways, I'm sorry. Go on.
No, that's okay. The nominees for adapted screenplay was American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest.
Okay, I'm clearly going Barbie.
I am too. I mean, yeah, and I agree with you. It shouldn't. It's a toy.
The only reason why Oppenheimer might win this particular award is because there was a lot of work that went into telling the story about how this, because it came from a book. Obviously, Christopher Nolan adapted it with the help from a book. And I can't remember the title right this second. Forgive me. And but he wrote the screenplay in that third person from the perspective of Oppenheimer. So the entire script is written from everyone else is very clearly, according to the script, is in Oppenheimer's story, which I thought was very interesting. So that's the only reason I can think of that they might take this. But I feel like Barbie should get this because, frankly, she should have been an original screenplay.
Yeah, I agree.
So go ahead. What's the next one?
Best original screenplay is Anatomy of the Fall, The Holdovers, Maestro, May December, and Past Lives.
Okay, my vote for this seriously is The Holdovers. I think The Holdovers is the dark horse that's going to surprise everybody across a lot of things.
We've talked about that a lot, that we believe The Holdovers is going to definitely probably do more than most people anticipate it's going to do. I kind of feel like it's that quiet runner that's
absolutely
creeping up everywhere.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're sleeping on it, you're absolutely wrong. That movie's amazing. You need to watch it. Though it didn't have the big sparkling Barbenheimer, type of marketing and whatnot. It is a movie that I'm shocked that people aren't talking more about. Seriously. Yeah. So go ahead. What's the next?
The Best Supporting Actress is, did I do that right? Sorry, there you go. Best Supporting Actress is Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks for The Color Purple, America Ferrera for Barbie, Jodie Foster for, is it Naiad? Mm-hmm. And Davina Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. I thought this was interesting, me and you, the way we chose this one.
So Davina has been she's been the favorite in a lot of the other awards, and a lot of those things. And it's funny. There's sometimes I go with the traditional thinking, and there's other times that I think some things will be an upset. I believe this is traditional thinking. She's won a lot of the other ones of these, and I believe firmly Davina's going to take it.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's just my opinion.
Mine might be wishful thinking because I am a fan of America Ferrera. So I went with Barbie.
I can totally get that. America Ferrera,
She did an amazing job. She really did.
If you saw her Critics' Choice acceptance and a lot of other, like, she's amazing.
She really is.
She's doing so much good work in terms of the real stand. And if you look at her career trajectory, like seeing where she ended up now doing Barbie, she's really done amazing stuff. And I believe she absolutely needs to be put front and forward.
I do too.
I'm sticking by my vote of Davina, but either way, I'm a big fan, and I definitely think Ferrera should deserve to be she deserves to be in the conversation, no doubt.
No doubt. No doubt at all.
Okay,
so the next one was
original song, I believe.
Original song, and there it is. I had to find it.
This is funny because we have an interesting back and forth on this one.
It was. Best original song is "It Never Went Away" from American Symphony. "I'm Just Ken" from Barbie. "What Was I Made For" from Barbie. "The Fire Inside" from Flamin' Hot, and Yes.
Jaja.
Thank you. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
It's in parentheses, "A Song for My People." It's from Killers of the Flower Moon.
So we both picked Barbie,
Yeah.
but different songs. I picked "I'm Just Ken,"
And I picked "What Was I Made For."
right? Or as my as baby Noah always say, "What was I made for?"
I'm like waiting for her to like bust in to scream that right now.
We've heard that song sung quite a bit in this house, with no doubt whatsoever. Like
None.
Legit. So, all right, no, go ahead. What's the
next one would be original score.
Got it.
And that falls right there. Okay. Best original score, American Fiction, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things.
So I believe we both thought the same thing, which was Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
For sure. There's a lot of great... Don't get me wrong. I love me some John Williams.
I was just going to say that's where our heart is.
Love me some John Williams, and nothing would give me more joy than to know that John Williams got an opportunity to get another bite at that apple, and because the man's amazing, so much so he's continuously coming out of retirement. So, but yeah, no, I think Oppenheimer had such an impactful and powerful soundtrack. That I feel like it's gonna. The other thing is, and I mentioned this to you, Mrs. Know-It-All. I think Oppenheimer's going to win a lot more of these smaller categories because I kind of have doubts whether they're going to be able to carry the Best Picture or not. So, anyways, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, keep telling them why because I agree with you.
No, for sure. So, go ahead.
Best Documentary Feature. Bobby Wine, The President's People, The Eternal Memory, Four Daughters, To Kill a Tiger, 20 Days in Mariupol.
I'm going to go To Kill a Tiger.
I went with Memory.
Right on.
The Eternal Memory.
Right on. What's the next one?
The next one is documentary short. And if my lovely... There we go. The ABCs of Book Banning, The Barber of Little Rock, Island in Between, The Last Repair, and...
Last Repair Shop.
Yeah, Last Repair Shop, and I can't pronounce this. Nai and
Waipu.
Thank you, Nai and Wapu. I appreciate that.
I'm going to go with The Last Repair Shop. My family comes from a long line of repair shops, and I thought this was actually quite inspired. So, yeah, you should check it out. It's pretty good. What's your thought?
I went with them, too.
Right on.
Because your family went with...
I know. No, for real. And, yeah, man. No, it's good stuff.
Okay, the next one is Best International Feature.
Okay.
From Italy, we have Io Capitano. From Japan, we have Perfect Days. From Spain, we have Society of the Snow. From Germany, The Teacher's Lounge. And from the United Kingdom, The Zone of Interest.
We both chose together because of my wife's Italian heritage, Io Capitano. Here we go.
Yes.
Go Italy. So let's see if Italy can bring it home. So it's not like I know it's not like soccer/football, but it's like let's go. I'm down.
Let's go.
Italy. Italy better bring it, baby. Let's go Italy. I'll fly a little Italian flag. I think I have a pizza box somewhere.
Somewhat, babe.
What? Sorry. All right. I'm good.
I live with this, y'all. I live with this.
Oh, yes.
The next
I'm excited for this next one. Go ahead.
animated feature. And we have The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Nimona, Robot Dreams, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
I'm laughing because Mrs. Know-it-all is very quickly writing the names of as we choose as we're watching them. She has spelled mine. I put Nimona. She has spelled pneumonia.
No, spell check has spelled
Autocorrect.
pneumonia.
Autocorrect. Screw you. No. So you put. What did you put?
I did Spider-Man Across the Universe because if I can watch that without getting carsick and nauseous and still enjoy the movie, it's in. That's my winner.
No, for sure. The reason I picked Nimona because it was such a different choice. And I feel like this is one of those where everybody wants one thing, but I don't necessarily know that they're going to go with the popular choice. The Academy Awards has very historically gone to different movies. It could have easily been The Boy and His Heron and all that, but and I don't think The Boy and the Heron's going to win because Boy and the Heron's already been. I feel like that's also an easy choice. So I went with Nimona purposely to go with an outlier choice, and that's just my thinking. Comment below. I'd love to hear what you guys think and what your choice for that particular. I'd love to hear some of your options in general. So,
yeah, don't just go. I want to hear what y'all have to say.
For sure. All right, what's the next one?
Best production design.
Can't wait. Hit it.
I'm telling you. Here we go. Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things.
I'm a firm believer that there's only one choice, and it has nothing to do with politics, it has nothing to do with anything else other than the fact that the world ran out of pink paint. Okay? The world's supply of pink paint there was a pink paint shortage. Barbie's the one to win this. You had to build the literal Barbie dream house, all the Malibu house, the beach set. You had to build all of it. Not to mention the brilliance that was the traveling transitions and not just the traveling transitions, because on its face anybody might look at that stuff and think, oh well, that was really cheap and they copped out and whatever else. Bro, the amount of work and effort that actually went into doing that kind of a thing was so amazing to me that you can't. I mean, they built an entire fantasy world. Now I know your first thought might be, well, everybody does that. Movies do that. Star Trek and sci-fi.
This is different.
Else.
This is Barbie. Coming from a girl, as much as I wasn't a huge, I had Barbies. Don't get me wrong, but the stuff that came with it was so Barbie. And I don't have another word for that.
And the thing is, if you don't design this right, what you run the risk of is designing it wrong. You would have made the house look like any house, but it doesn't work that way. It has to be an open face pink house that does that because that's what the toy is like. The same thing with the Barbie President's Oval Office and the Barbie Beach House and all this stuff. There's a certain look it has to have, and you can't just go here. Architects, you see this little toy thing? Yeah, build me a full size version of this. It requires actual production design.
I'll say time, effort, which leads to like the design of everything.
Absolutely.
So I really, really hope, and we'll talk more about this, that Barbie wins that.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
No,
hands
for
down.
sure. Go ahead.
The next one is editing. Best film editing. Anatomy of the Fall, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things.
No, I am. Of course, I'm a video editor. This is my. I love this so much, and that's our cat. But this is definitely my. I love this category, and I feel like this category is such that it absolutely needs to be. You have to respect it. Editing is more than just chopping things up. Editing is just as important to telling the story as the cinematography, as the direction. There are a lot of directors that will sit there hand in hand with their editor and work diligently to come up with their story.
I want to talk more about editing because I experience you.
Sure.
So when we're done with these, let's go back and start talking about some of that stuff too, because I watch my husband do the editing.
No, it's fine. Yeah,
all right, next one.
Our
choices. Sorry.
Yeah, I believe Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer
Told a story through editing. It's so funny. there were times in the movie that I didn't know if I was watching a flashback. I didn't know if I was in the present or the past. I mean, you do know, but what I mean is the way things flowed, the choices they made, the storytelling that happens in terms of the editing is such an intrinsic part of that movie's storytelling that I do believe it needs to be looked at importantly for that. Also, I'm a firm believer that I don't believe Oppenheimer is going to win Best Picture, so I believe they're going to give it a lot of these other ancillary
we'll talk
categories.
about that. I want to talk about
we'll
that
get
too,
there,
because
I
agree with him on that one.
So go ahead. I'm sorry. What's the next one? I believe it's Best Sound. I think sound.
Did we both did Oppenheimer? Yeah.
Yes.
Sound would be next. I'm sorry. Sound would be next. Oh, you would think these things would be set up the way I want them to, honey.
Yeah.
Sound. There you go. Ready? Mm-hmm. The Creator, Maestro, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1, Oppenheimer, and The Zone of Interest.
So, I went with The Creator.
I went with Oppenheimer.
No, that's fair. That's fair. The reason I went with The Creator is because The Creator is one of those movies that should have gotten more recognition as a film, though it is not a great movie, but it does a lot of really great things. And it does them very well. The only thing that didn't really come together was the movie itself. I feel like the story is a little bit. Too many things didn't line up right. But I thought VFX and I thought sound were two areas that the movie did very extremely well. And so I believe that since it's not going to be getting a lot of other things,
it's not. They might, as much as it sounds bad, but that could be the one they give The Creator because it came out during all the strikes. And it ended up being an amazing movie. Yeah. And it just didn't get... It was kind of like the wrong place, wrong time.
Agreed. No, for sure.
Unfortunately. Unfortunately.
But yeah, man, I'm a firm believer in it. I think it should definitely get that one. What's the next?
Visual effects. We're both very excited about this one, just to let you know.
No, let's go for sure.
Visual effects. The Creator. Godzilla -1.
Woo!
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, Part 1, and Napoleon.
You want to say this together?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Godzilla!
Bro, let me tell you why. Godzilla's the only movie on that list, okay, that had roughly between 60 and 65 people, I believe. I think it was 60 or 61 or something like that, who worked on it. All the other movies have hundreds and hundreds of
60.
VFX people. 60 brothers out there working in VFX, okay? If you watch Corridor Crew at all, you understand the difficulty that it goes into making VFX on any scale at any level look good, and these guys did an amazing job. Amazing.
Let's talk, again, I want to put a pin in that one because I want to talk more about the visual effects and that and things that we've learned and seen throughout, especially with it only being 60.
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead, what's the next one?
Best cinematography. El Conde?
Yeah, El Conde.
Thank you. Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things.
Definitely. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. Oppenheimer's my choice.
Yep, that's what we went with.
Oppenheimer.
I did too.
Oppenheimer's a tour de force. He did the entire movie in IMAX, which is by itself an achievement. So many of what you see visual effects, if not almost all of them, are in-camera, practical. Some things are color graded and adjusted and whatever else, and obviously there's some things that are done visually using other methods that are practical. But for the most part, most of what you see in the film is being done in the camera.
Yeah.
And that is just such an amazing choice.
Agreed.
And it takes a special kind of individual to be able to capture the majesty of the terrible majesty of what that whole thing was. Everything from the black and white choices that they make to the way the camera is different between the Senate hearings with Robert Downey Jr., then you cut to the actual stuff that's happening out in the field in Los Alamos, and just all of it is so brilliantly handled.
I agree.
I definitely think that movie's
agree.
And again,
the color palette alone.
Yeah, I maintain the reason that they're going to win this is most likely because they are not winning. I do not believe they're going to win Best Picture.
Best Picture.
We'll get there because we're almost there. We're almost to the end.
Yes. Best Actor.
Let's hear it.
Bradley Cooper for Maestro. Coleman Domingo for Rustin. Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers. Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction.
Look, I love everybody. The entire field of lead actor nominations are awesome guys, worthy of the award for sure. I believe though this is only a two-horse race, 100%. Obviously, the clear choices to me. Most people are going to say, I think, what was your choice?
Cillian Murphy.
Okay. I believe the only person that can upset Cillian Murphy in this, the only person he's worried about, is Paul Giamatti. And that's who I went. I went with Paul Giamatti. I believe that, again, holdovers, don't sleep on it. It's going to upset everything.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree. Best Actress.
Let's do it.
Annette Bening for Nayib. Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon. Sandra Hüller. Did I say that right?
Sure.
Anatomy of a Fall. Carey Mulligan for Maestro, and Emma Stone for Poor Things.
Okay. We both went with the same person. We both went with Lily Gladstone.
And deserves it.
She's amazing.
Absolutely
I think
deserves
between what is being perceived, and I believe incorrectly, we can have that conversation later or even on tomorrow's show, as a snub by BAFTA. I don't think it's a snub by BAFTA. And again, you have to understand how all these award things work. I do believe that she is every bit deserving of this. Not to mention everybody you've seen, everybody that's on this field either has been or has been recognized in the past or has something that she's a face that deserves to be recognized today.
She does. No, she is. And I think she should have received a few more awards, but I get why they chose others. But
No,
I don't believe in the whole snub part as far as BAFTA. And we'll, again, talk about that tomorrow on our show. But, I think she should win this, and I think she will.
Absolutely. So, all right, let's
We have 2 left.
Yes, let's do it. No, go ahead.
All right. The next one is Best Director. All right, you're going to have to help me with some of these words, babe.
Got it.
For Anatomy of the Fall, we have
Justin Triet.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Martin Scorsese.
Oppenheimer.
Christopher Nolan.
Poor Things.
Yorgos Lanthimos.
And The Zone of Interest.
Jonathan Glazer.
Well, thank you, honey. We're going to do that with Best Picture, too, just to let you know. These are 2 very important ones for us. Let's think about it. You know, those are important. I think we should do them together. Who'd you go with?
I went with Oppenheimer.
I did, too.
Yeah,
I went with Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Again, for the record, we'll talk more about this later. I'm not a big Christopher Nolan fan, but I would like to discuss why I am in this particular movie.
Yeah, no, he's amazing. I think this is a great movie. I think
I even told Brother Know-It-All.
I think he was visionary. I think he's visionary in a lot of ways, and his entire approach as a director to this movie was so unique.
Yes.
Wanting to go 100% practical and with every visual effect.
Yeah.
And I just it's amazing. So.
And I think because they probably won't get Best Picture.
Sure.
I think they will give it to Christopher Nolan.
See, and normally the popular thinking is you give Best Director normally is associated with Best Picture. But I don't believe that's going to be the case this time. I do believe it will be an upset. And so now that leaves us to...
So here we go. Best Picture. I'll read one, you read one, okay?
All right.
You start.
American Fiction.
Anatomy of a Fall.
Barbie.
The Holdovers.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Maestro.
Oppenheimer.
Past Lives.
Poor Things.
The Zone of Interest.
All right.
Yes, there's a lot, but you know what? That's okay. I like it.
I am a firm believer that I'm sorry, I'm not even going to try to bury the lead on this one.
We both agree.
The Holdovers.
Holdovers are going to get this.
I think the Holdovers are going to get it. I think the Holdovers is the dark horse that's going to sneak in and take everything. And I'm telling you, because we've been so focused on Barbie, Oppenheimer, and all that, and the Killers of the Flower Moon of it all, everything, that Holdovers is such a good movie that people have slept on it. It's going to be great. I'm a firm believer. So, I would absolutely love to hear what you guys think. Let us know. So there you go. Now you know. If knowing's half the battle, you're halfway being know yourself. Would love to hear your thoughts. Please comment below. Tell us who you believe is going to win in any number of these. And what else? That's
it. That's all we have. Those are the nominations. There's 22 categories. So,
do you want to take a second and slide over and take a look a little bit more at some of those ideas we talked about?
I do.
You said editing and possibly director.
Let's talk about editing first.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
I see my husband do a lot of the editing when it comes to our shows, especially when I'm on it. There's lots of editing involved. One of the things that with Oppenheimer, everything was on film.
Yeah.
And I think an editor having to use film is a special set of skills. Am I wrong?
No, I think okay. So, and I could be wrong, and I have to double check because I don't want either of us to misspeak. I think they may have done it, and I think they filmed in IMAX and transferred to film.
Oh, okay.
Or either that or vice versa. One of the two options.
Okay.
I got to remember, and forgive me for not knowing more. I feel very ignorant in this moment. But yeah, you're right. But the idea of being able to handle that and go from there, because all the editing is still done in normal editing setup.
Right,
but having to go from
with
that.
film, I feel like it's so much more. Not everything. Some things, but not everything is digital. So
yeah, or at the very least, at some point you're dealing with an analog medium.
Yeah,
at some point.
Yeah.
And that's a huge, and she's right, that's a big skill that's missing from today's day and age.
Because of who, and this will just go right into it, because of who Christopher Nolan is.
Right.
Being best director, I think he will get the best director, shows that's why he's also one of the best edited films.
Absolutely. No, for sure.
I've never been a big fan of Christopher Nolan films. I have a hard time with this hearing and the movement and stuff like that. And it's just who I am.
Tenet was one of those movies that Baby Know-It-All and I loved. And we were done. We didn't know why we loved it. And we were like, let's watch it again. And she was like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, I was good. I was good. But Brother Know-It-All, my brother, loves Christopher Nolan. Yeah. So for me to say, oh my gosh, you need to go see Oppenheimer and see it in a theater speaks volumes for how awesome Christopher Nolan is as a director, for me to say that to my brother.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I agree 100%. 100%.
Visual effects.
Yeah. Visual effects.
Oppenheimer had good ones because they were practical, and I liked that. But let's talk about Godzilla -1.
So,
because that was so cool.
It was amazing. I mean, if you think about it, Godzilla -1. It took, especially when you're in the heels of, we're in a very big, we're in Lionsgate's like Godzilla assance. Mm-hmm. They've really taken the Godzilla franchise and done a lot with it. The Apple series Monarch, which I reviewed here on the channel, has just devastatingly done well. And it's again, so to see this harken back to the old, to have Toho be the ones who brought it out, and it stands arms, shoulders, if not head and shoulders above what we're doing here with hundreds, if not thousands of VFX people. That is a tour de force. Yeah, that speaks volumes, and it looks amazing.
So we had heard was it the director himself would jump in and help with the visual effects?
Yeah.
Did we hear? Okay, we did hear that correctly.
He's a visual effects guy.
He's a visual effects guy, and he said, "Oh, y'all need help," basically, and went in and helped.
Yeah.
60 people. I was never a huge Godzilla fan, okay, just to let you know.
Sure.
Never. This was amazing. This was absolutely amazing. I'm in the Godzilla generation of
rubber suits and the guy knocked over paper mache buildings.
Yeah, so that never caught my attention like it caught yours.
I grew up with the Saturday Creature Feature, where right after cartoons it was pro wrestling, and right after pro wrestling it was the Kung Fu Flick of the Week, followed immediately by Godzilla. So I would watch all that, and I loved me some Godzilla. So then, and then of course, then you had the movie in the '90s, which was whatever. Though I loved it at the time, I didn't realize what I wanted until the Lionsgate movies came out. Like so,
I was going to say that's where when the Lionsgate started to come out, which was San Francisco was the
2015.
one that, which is how I probably fell in love with Monarch at the same time.
Sure.
Because I watched Monarch as well, and I'm like, where's this falling? Where are we at in the movies? And he's like, oh, this is at this time. So I'm actually, for the fact that we have another Monarch, first of all, let's be happy. Go, if you haven't seen it, find a way to see Godzilla -X, because I believe they're re-releasing it again before the awards. And I think it's in black and white. I could be wrong about that.
No, they are.
They're re-releasing it in black and white.
I wouldn't worry about seeing the black and white version. If you can see it, go see it. I want to see the movie, absolutely.
Either way,
I
see
prefer to see it in color because it was amazing.
Yeah.
Because even the colors are vibrant. The whole thing looks beautiful. It's done. It's great. What else?
The last one we were going to talk about was a little further was lead actor. We touched on it for a second. So you chose Paul Giamatti and I chose Cillian Murphy. Tell me why you think, because both actors did an amazing job.
This season gives us these two movies, bring us two faces that we are very familiar with, but who have never been in the spotlight like they are today.
I agree. Yeah.
Paul Giamatti has never been in the spotlight on this level, has never been in the spotlight to this degree. Mm-hmm. And neither has Cillian Murphy. Cillian Murphy has worked with Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer. He worked with Christopher Nolan for 20 years. And Paul Giamatti, he's a face we all recognize, and like to see. It's one of the reasons why Paul Giamatti went viral, going to In-N-Out afterwards. He's in everybody. He's in everybody, and he did this movie, and he's amazing.
That's right. I forgot after the Golden Globes.
He went to In-N-Out.
He went to In-N-Out to get a burger with his Golden Globe. He does not like the foo food. He wanted a burger, and I guess that's how I would celebrate something like that too.
The foo food. That's right. I swear, foo food. Let's go.
Stop it.
But then you hear about the likes of Cillian Murphy, and if you watch Cillian, because of how Christopher Nolan structured everything, everybody was told from day one, every one of you is in service to this man right here. Mm-hmm. So that means Cillian Murphy has all these huge actors everywhere who are like, right on, man. And so every reward, they're like, hey, I want to thank you, Cillian Murphy, you're blah, 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 this and that. And I'm like, you see him be so humble, and you see him like, he looks almost embarrassed by the attention. That's why I said these are two men who, under any normal circumstance, have not ever been to this degree in the spotlight. That's one of the reasons why I'm excited about this race, is we're getting an opportunity to see real, genuine talent across all the boards. Lily Gladstone's doing amazing. Emma Stone's doing brand new things she's never done before. Bradley Cooper's directing and doing. It's like there's so much talent this year that is new and unique. And I'm telling you, the only way the Oscars screw this up is by giving us a dumb show, and but otherwise, like the nominations look really good. I'm very excited for this year.
It was nice to see Annette Bening nominated. She's been around like forever, but Absolutely. It was nice to see her nominated for something.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to win, unfortunately.
No, but it was
I do think it was good to see her. Let's see. I think we covered everything we wanted to talk about afterward.
One last thing before we wrap this all up, though. I'm a big fan. Hey, still, who are we? This is the KnowItAllNation. We're big genre fans here. What do we talk about? We talk about Star Trek. We talk about superhero shows like The Boys and everything else. And who was hosting this bad boy? Zazie Beetz, who was arguably one of the best supporting actresses, in my opinion, in The Joker, as well as who also played Domino in Deadpool. Also, and we have Jack Quaid, who not only plays in The Boys, but is also in Lower Decks.
And does the voice? I was going to say, does Boimler's voice?
I'm telling you. Okay, my point is,
he's an amazing actor. Anyway, let's be for real.
Genre people, we're holding it down this year. I am so excited and so happy to see all of our faces. By that I mean, because I'm sorry, Jack Quaid's one of us. He geeks out like the rest of us and nerds out like the rest of us. And both these people did such a good job presenting the nomination announcements this year.
They had fun.
They really did.
They had a lot of fun, I think, with it.
Yeah.
Which and it was fun to see. Like, it was 5:30 in Los Angeles. We're in Atlanta, so this was a normal time for us. It was 5:30 up there when they started announcing it, and we're like,
no,
all we had to do was come downstairs.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, I tell you what, I'm super excited by everything that we got to talk about. I can't wait to talk tomorrow. Join us tomorrow on the live stream. We're going to be on the KnowItAllNation starting at 2 o'clock Eastern. That's 11 a.m. on Pacific. and we're going to talk all the different entertainment news that's going on right now in the world, as well as discussing a little bit more, recapping some of these things, and maybe having
touch
a few
a
more.
little bit on it.
Yeah, but we
got
figured
other
this is
stuff
the show
to talk
for that.
about today.
But yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe to the channel. We'll talk to you again very soon. Never forget,
everyone loves a know-it-all.
Bye.
Bye, guys.